Okay, so a finance book from 1926, is it still relevant? That's the big question. Today, we are going to break down The Richest Man in Babylon and see if its ancient wisdom is a timeless foundation for building wealth or if it's just an outdated relic. Let's dive right in. Have you ever noticed this? It's crazy, right? You get a pay raise. You feel on top of the world for maybe a month. And then suddenly, you're just as broke as you were before. It's like your spending just magically expands to eat up every single new dollar. Well, you're not alone. This is a universal problem, and it's the exact financial trap this book was designed to help you escape. And this quote right here from Clason himself, it just nails it. He called them necessary expenses. But today, we have a different name for it: lifestyle inflation. It's this quiet, sneaky assumption that our spending has to go up when our income does. But the real problem with that thinking is that you're basically managing your money for everyone else's benefit, your landlord, the car company, the restaurants, before you take care of yourself. So let's really reframe this using the book's powerful idea. Think about it. Your salary isn't really yours, not at first. It's just a pile of money you hand out to other people. If, say, a third of your income goes to rent, you're literally working 10 days every single month just for your landlord. The book makes you ask a really tough question. Who are you really working for? This is so much bigger than just budgeting. It's about taking back control of your time and your work. So, okay, how do you actually break out of this trap? Well, the book lays out this really clear framework. It's called The 7 Cures for a Lean Purse. Now, these aren't some get-rich-quick schemes. They are the solid foundational principles for building real, lasting wealth straight from the people who lived in the richest city in the ancient world. So here it is, the whole system, broken down into 7 cures. First, pay yourself first. Then, control your spending. Make your money multiply. Guard it from loss. Make your home a profitable investment. Secure a future income. And finally, always increase your ability to earn. You got to see this as a whole package, not just a list of options you can pick and choose from. All right, let's zoom in on the most critical piece of advice here. Pay yourself first. The 70-20-10 budget looks simple, but its real power is psychological. You make that 10% for yourself completely non-negotiable. You take it out before a single bill gets paid. When you do that, you totally flip your financial world upside down. You are no longer the last person in line to get paid with your own money. You are the first. And that right there is the huge mental shift from being just a spender to becoming an owner. But look, saving money, that's only half the battle. Just letting your cash sit there in a fattened purse, as the book calls it, doesn't really do anything. So the book gives us the next layer, the 5 laws of gold. And these are basically the rules of the game for putting your savings to work. This is where you go from just saving to actively growing your wealth. The core idea here is really about how you deploy your capital and manage risk. Saving is just step 1. I love the analogy of your money being like an army of soldiers. They should be out there working for you, not sleeping in the barracks. The laws are really a timeless guide for smart investing. Get advice from people who know what they're doing, stick to what you understand, and for goodness sakes, avoid those speculative gambles that promise you the moon. It's all about preserving and growing your capital. And that wisdom, it is absolutely timeless, no question. But the world we live in has changed, a lot. And that brings us to the critical part of this review. In today's hyper-fast world, is this slow and steady path really the best strategy for someone with big ambitions? You can really see the 2 different mindsets here. Babylon's path is all about slow, steady compounding over, 40+ years. But the modern fast lane idea from guys like MJ DeMarco says you should use that saved up capital differently. Instead of just passively putting it in the market, you actively invest it in businesses you can scale, systems you control that can build wealth way, way faster. And this quote just perfectly captures that tension. I mean, the idea of being a millionaire at 65 is fine. It's great. But so many of us want to actually enjoy that wealth while we're young, while we have the energy and the time to do things. And that's the main critique of the slow traditional path. The timeline just doesn't match modern ambition. And there's another modern problem that the book just couldn't have seen coming: the silent killer of your long-term wealth. Investment fees. They look so small, right? Just 1%, maybe 2%. But over a few decades, their impact is, well, it's absolutely devastating. Just look at that number. It shows how dangerous this modern threat really is. A tiny 1% difference in fees can literally wipe out almost $500,000 of your wealth over 30 years. Now, this totally fits with the book's law of guarding thy treasure from loss, but the threat today is way more subtle than some obvious scam. It's the slow, quiet poison of fees, and you need a modern level of financial savvy to fight back. So, after all that, where does this leave us? Is this 100-year-old book still worth your time? Should you follow its advice to the letter, or is it just a piece of history? Let's wrap this up with a final verdict. Here's the bottom line. The Richest Man in Babylon gives you an absolutely essential foundation. The habits it teaches, discipline, saving first, living below your means, thinking long term, these are the non-negotiable building blocks for any kind of financial success. But for anyone with serious ambition today, you should see it as the foundation, not the complete blueprint. The modern world just requires a more active, a more sophisticated, and, yeah, a potentially faster strategy built right on top of that timeless wisdom. So, if you're ready to start building that foundation for yourself, you can find a link to the book and some other great resources we talked about right down in the description below. And for more strategic breakdowns just like this one, make sure you subscribe to the channel. Thanks for watching, and I will see you in the next explainer.